Java level 4 class. So let's continue what we stopped at last week. So last week we learned the file read, file write. Now we said how could we create a new file? We just use the file create a new file method so we can create a new file. But once you create a new file, it's an empty file, right? So how can you put the content into a file? So that's a file write. File writer. So we use a file writer to create a file, and we use a file reader to read in the content. So before I show my slide, now let's just recall what we have learned in the past. In Java, we learned using scan to read a file. We also use buffer reader to read a file. So actually, there are many other classes we can use to read a file. So let me share my screen. So there are many available classes that can be used to read and write files in Java. File reader is the one we learned last week. Buffer reader we learned in level 2. Files scanner, we have not learned this one yet, okay? We have not learned this one yet. We learn file, but we did not learn files. We didn't learn that one, okay? But we load the scan, and we touch the file input stream, and we touched on that because when you use file reader, let me go to the website. Let me just go there. Java file reader. Let's just go there. And you see file reader. It's a child of input stream reader. So that means you can use input stream read, right? So let's just come back to the website again. So let me click on the input stream reader. Then you will see what other child it has. You see it has the file read subclass. Then let me go to the read. So let's see what we have. You directly learn subclass, you'll see input stream reader, hybrid reader, string reader, char array reader, buffered reader, right? So there are a lot of classes. So if you wanted to dive into it, you will be able to get the flavor of every class. Why we have so many? Why do we have so many? So for the write, it's the same. So now let's talk about the difference. File input stream is for bytes read. Okay, you read in the bytes. File reader is to read characters. Buffer read and scanner is text. You read a text file. So what you read in is a string, okay? Here, what you read in is characters, okay? So buffer reader is fast, and the scanner has more passes. So these two we already talked about when we were in Java level 2. We already talked about that. Buffer reader is much fast. Scanner, you can read the primitive data types. Okay, so there are difference between all those readers and the writers. And if you want to learn more, you need to read those classes. So what it can do, right? So this is another package we did not touch it. This one is called NIO. Usually we just say Java IO. This is an NIO. It's a new input output package, okay? Java new input output file, okay? Pay attention, this file actually is the package name. It's not a class. So which provides interfaces and classes to access files, file attributes, and the file systems. Okay, so this package has a lot of other classes. So now let's come back to our website. All right, so let me just use Java file. And you will see what package it is in. It is in IO package, right? Java IO package file. So here, what we are going to learn is that this files is another class. It is in the Java new IO dot file package. Let me give you this URL. Okay. And I want you guys to spend like 2 minutes on it first. Okay. So this is the package new IO file. It has a lot of interfaces, a lot of classes. Okay. So once you guys know, just click on the class. What class? Files. Click on it. Okay. You see files is different from the class we learned last week and the week before. So that's a file. This is a files. Files is in this package, Java new IO.file package. Okay. So it has many more methods that is not included in the file class. So that's why you see developers created this new package because they think the old IO package has its limitation. So they are trying to do more. One problem is that you cannot copy a file using the file class. You cannot copy a file. You see here, when you use the files, you see copy method is there. You can easily copy a file. Okay. So if I go back to, let me just go back to the files. Okay. Java files. Let me go there. Let me just go there. Java file. Okay. So you see here, you do not see copy, right? So let me just search copy on this one. So you do not see any copy method at all. You don't see it. You don't see it. I already reached the end of the page. But here in the files, In the files, you say you have a copy, you have a delete. So let me go back to the file, see if we have the delete method. Right, we do have it. So you say, do you have a create? So I want you guys just to spend like 2 minutes to read those two classes to see the difference. And you see files provide way more useful methods. Okay, just go ahead and do that. And Erin, when you were in the center yesterday, and I see that you now have a very good sense about Java. That's very good. When you make a change to the variable names, and when you imported the packages and the classes, I think you are doing very good there. You know, the problem, we found the problem when we ran your code yesterday. It did not work. Actually, the encode was not right on that robot. So that was why it has problem. So we changed it to Penguin's robot today, so we get it to work. All right, I want you to come back now. So today we will spend some time learn this class called files. So let's use a copy, okay? We cannot copy file using the file object. Files class provides us a way to do it. Please read the copy method. And you guys go ahead and now to read the copy method. And then I can give you the code example. We can quickly copy a file using files class. All right, so let me give you this code. Let me come to here. So I will just post my code here. I will post my code here in this class so I can run it. So you see in this class, this code. So let me import these packages, these classes. Okay. Hope you guys can also resolve the problem with the import. So you can import those classes. So here, so let me show you the code. So you use paths. This is also in the new IO package. Paths, you can get a file, right? You get this source, this target. We are trying to copy this file to that one. So what we are going to do is that we use try catch. We are trying this one, okay? Trying what? Trying this. Files copy. So if you wanted to make this more clear, let me hit enter here. So this will copy the file, the source, the target, and this will replace if the file already existing in that folder. So we can try that, okay? Now when I run it, and then here you see I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to read the file, okay? I will read the files, read all lines. You do not have this in the file class. So I'll read all lines and put it into this, array list, string array list, okay? I read into it, then I look through the array list and I print it out line by line. So what do I read? I read the target. What is the target? That's this one. You just copied it to that file, okay? So that's a code. Let me just run it. So let me make sure in my C drive, I have a file called test.txt. So let me go to my C temp. Okay. C temp. So I have a test.txt. Let me open it. So I have this text in it, right? All right. So now let me run it. Let me run my code now. Run it. Do you guys have problem to run it? Okay, let me find out what's the problem here. Oh, okay, I know it. Here. We have to put a 2/z because this Java you have to use escape. You wanted to return it, then you need to put a 2. Now let me run it. You see, here is what I got. So let me go to the C temp. Now let me show you this file. It is test copy. Okay. So if I open it, you have the same content in it. So this one is the source file. This one is a copied file. So that's what it looks like. Copy the file. So after you copy it, then you read it out. So that's the content in this file. So you see, with the files, you can easily read a file. You can easily copy a file. Right? Use a file, you cannot read it. You have to use like a file reader, right? File class itself does not have a reader. So you here use reader all lines. Then you got it. You got the content. So let me check your work. Okay, let me check your work. So you can use a different file as a source and use a different name for the copied file. Then you show me your result, okay? So let me stop it. Can Ryan, can you share your screen to me? Does it work for you? Okay. Arrow when copying file and the arrow. So that's the test of that's the content in your tested text file, right? Is that right?
No.
So then can you run it? So let me see. Okay. Arrow when copying file. So you may not have the test.txt file in that location. Do you have it?
Let me check.
In your workspace, do you have a test.txt file?
Yeah.
You do have it?
Yeah.
Okay, can you stop sharing? Okay, so let me get more information then. Let me share my screen then. All right, so in your code, right, you see this the error message you printed out. So let me just copy this one. I want you guys to do this with me as well. So you can get more information. You will do this ex dot get message. So this will tell you what kind of error it is. Okay, so let me send you this line of code, Ryan. I want you to use it. So then you will share me your screen. So let me stop sharing. So that's the error message you got. Error when copying file. The workspace test.txt. Can you go to that location? Can you share your File Explorer to me? Can you go to Windows Explorer? See workspace. Okay, you see your file name is not right. You say your file name is text.txt. But in your code, you use test.txt. Can you change that code? Okay, very good. So the copies, now you go back to your workspace location, you will see a new file is created. It is called a test copy. And this is the content in that file. Very good. So thank you, Ryan. So let me ask Aaron, does this work for you, Aaron?
Yeah,
Very
does.
good. Very good. So let's move on then. So we use the file navigation. We use a file list file, right? We use that method. So many times we need a GUI. That means what is GUI? It is a short form for graphic user interface. So just like the Windows, so you can see it. So we need a GUI to navigate through our file system and find the file we need. Okay. To achieve that, we will touch Java Swing. Swing is a suite of Java packages. It's a suite of Java packages, a lot of Java packages. Okay. So it's a toolkit for GUI developer. So we will learn it in level 4, okay, level 4, level 5 classes. We will learn it so we can develop an user interface application. So now let's just use partial of it. So the Java file chooser provides a simple mechanism for the user to choose a file. So let me give you guys this URL, and I want you guys to take a look at it. So how can we use a file navigation? It's called a file chooser. So let me do this here. File chooser. So can you just quickly read this part? You see how it is used. And then we will try something. Try some code, okay? And you see it's constructed. How can we create a file chooser? And then its method. Okay. Quickly read through the first section here. And then we will using examples to help us understand how we use it. I want you to pay attention to these two things, these two methods. Show open dialog. It is selected a file. That's two methods in the file chooser class. Go read those two methods. So shoe show open dialog. Click on it so you can read the details. And then say set selected file. All right, so let's try some code using it. So let me give you this code as well. And then I will work with you guys on this together. All right, come in here. Now let me just replace this code I have here. I don't need it anymore. The file was sent. Okay, you see I have the file chooser. I use the constructor. It does not need to provide any argument values. So you create an instance of it and you set it as the final variable. Okay, that means you cannot change it. And then I create an integer value. So what do I got? I use show open dialog. So show open dialog will return a value. So what value is returned? So there are different values, right? So once it's approve option, that means you click on OK. Okay. You could have other values. So then let's just go back to see what values you can got. Approve. Okay. There's an approve selection, approve option, there's an cancel option. There are the value. It shows you which button is clicked. So let me come back to the code. So if the user click OK button, that means, okay, a file is selected. So you say use get selected file. So you know which file is selected. You assign that file to this variable file. Then you can get its absolute path. Let's see what it is, all right? So this is a very simple code. So let me save this code and run it. And then you guys will know how it works. Let me run it. So here I get this pop-up window, right? This is the file navigation user interface. Okay. It is the user interface. So you can click through it. Okay, you can choose E drive, and then go to temp folder. Go to the temp folder, and then you think, let me do not go that one. That's too big. So let me just go back to this one. E drive, temp, this one. All right, so I have so many files here. Let me just use this one, okay? Yeah, use this one. You see the file is shown here. So you see I have two buttons. So the button, if I click open, okay, now you see what I got. So here it shows me, it prints out this one. So that's a approve button, right? So it prints out the file as a negative, and it's absolute path. That's E drive temp, this file. So okay, let me run it again. This time, let me just select a random file, okay? Select this one. Okay, let me just click cancel. You see, it's nothing printed out. So when you click open, then it is the approval option. So if the J file chooser, you click it OK, then the return the value is this value. Okay. If you click cancel, then it is the cancel option. Okay. You select that one. So let me stop sharing, and I wanted to see it works on your computer. All right. So this time, let me check AD yours.
Okay.
I don't see the pop-up dialog though. I think you did not share the entire window. You only shared me Eclipse. So you need to share me the entire screen. Okay, good. So just choose a file, click OK, click open. Yeah, you see that is print out. So actually, once you select the file, it is already a file. It's an instance of a file. With that, you can have all those attributes that class has. Very good. Thank you, Eddie. So let me check Alex. Do you mind to share your screen to me? Share your entire screen so I can make sure it works for you. Okay, choose anyone. Very good. You see, it truly get that file, right? And once you get the file, now you should be able to see read the file. You can append more content to that file. So you have the ability to handle that file. So here is using the Java Swing toolkit to develop a user interface. And you get that. Very good. So let me give you an access to do. Let me share my screen so you can see the access. So please read this class more, enhance your code, and use the file chooser to display only DOCX documents. How can you do that? So you need to come back to use the file chooser. Say, okay, in this class, how can I field documents, the file types? How can I do that? Okay. So go ahead and do that. You read this class and see any methods that can help you achieve that. You need to use the code I gave to you before. And when you when you set the field. Anyone finished? No one? Do you guys have any idea how to do this? ED, do you have any idea? Hi, ED, are you there? Okay, I think you get bored. Okay, Eddie, you have any idea how to do this one?
I think I finished.
Okay, good. Can you share? That's good.
Can I create like a document really quick as an example?
Sure, go ahead.
Mm,
Yeah, very good. So you see, what actually you needed to do, you just create a field. Okay, you just create a field, and the file chooser can use the field. Oh, I did not see. Oh, you said it's a field, yes. So line 79. So I really want you guys to take a look at that. Line 79. So ID set the field. So that means you really got it. And then here on line 77, you define the field. What kind of field? You just use the UCX file. Of course, you added the text file there as well. So that give you more choices. That's very, very good. So I hope the rest of the class got it as well. Thank you, Eddie. Very good. Let me share my screen now. So you see these are the more complicated solutions here. So you see use a file chooser, right? So file chooser, you create a new field. This new field, what is that? You get description, you use the most important thing is that you need to implement this except. Okay. So you use that file field, and here is another one, file chooser file field. So you need to implement the get description, the accept one. Okay, so you choose a different file type. So different ways to do it, but the most important thing is that, right? Let me go back. So for the file chooser, you can set the file field. So once you set the file field, it will filter those files. So when you set the file field, you need a file filter, right? So you click on the file filter. So what is it? It is in the file chooser file filter. So you see it has these two methods. It has these two methods, okay? So that's why you need to implement it. You need to implement it. If you say the file field, right? So you can use that, and then you do it. You just implement those. Just implement those. Then you are good. Okay. All right. So any question from the class? Does this make sense? So let me ask Serena. Does that make sense? You filled out only the files you want, only the file type you want. We need to set the file field. Okay, Ruan, did you finish it? Do you want to share yours to me? Okay. All right. If in there you needed to set the file filter, and the file filter actually is a class on the file chooser package. Okay. It's there, so you needed to implement something. So you need to implement something. Okay, so that then you need to have your code. You need to implement accept and implement get description. All right, so let me give you more examples. If you stop sharing, let me give you more examples here. So that's how they did it, right? File field. You just do that. And then you use this set field. Okay, let me give you this code, give you these examples. You can use it, you can try them, you can set the filter. Every time you just try to set one field, so you can feel it, okay? You can feel how it works. You need to set the filter to the file chooser. All right, So let me give you the homework now then. The homework is not hard at all. Please develop a class that can display the file. Choose the dialog. The dialog will only show TXT file. So Eddie, you already finished 50% of your homework. So after the user chooses a file, you will copy this file from its current place to a new folder called this folder, okay? If this folder does not exist, you need to create it. So I also showed you the code. You use the files class to do that. You have those code sample already. So once the user chooses this file, now you get that file. So you just now do a copy. Just do a copy. So let me send this homework to you guys. Hopefully, all of you will do the homework. Let me ask you guys, okay? I want to see your homework, ED, Ryan, Eddie, Aaron, and Alex, and Serena. I hope you hear me. Do your homework. This is easy, okay? So let me give you this, and I want you guys to do the homework. So that's all I have, and let me return the class back to Miss He.
Thank you, Dr. Yan. So, okay, let me start.